Yes, I know you're big and beautiful. Yes, you don't need to show me, show the other Shelleys. You have some bubblers. Yeah? Yeah? Can you think you can manage that? Thank you. Should get this thing started. Okay. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. R. Greeting, greeting, hello and welcome. Yeah, same old, same old. Let's get on with it, shall we? Uh, Fish Lady Donna, just want to say hi, Adelaide. Can't be with you as on a fishing trip. Have a good live, Andrew and Donna. Oh, enjoy your fishing. Tight lines and many fishies. Well, for the pot. Let's be honest, you see fishing. How you doing, Sam? You sexy beast. Yeah, it's been a week. Been a week off, and I've not done a huge amount. Looked out last night and this morning, so have a good rest then. That seems like far too much working out to me. Hell, I didn't even manage to go on a bike ride this week. Furthest I went was to work and back just to check on the rotors for the coming week, which had changed. So I would have got my days wrong. But hey ho, what else? Like 75 kilo. Gee, dude, you're 12.5 kilo lighter than me now. What's that? About 150 pound. 150, 160, give or take. I think are hovering around 87 at the moment, but actually I might be a bit lower than that. With a 166. So yeah, I'm probably up around 200. I'm not little, although a good chunk of that is leg muscle these days. um, yeah, so my plans were this week that Thursday I was going to go on a nice long bike ride. I had it all planned out. It was going to be about 45 mile, maybe a bit more, depending on how I felt. And then the weather decided there's going to be a storm. It's going to be really windy. And if you do go on said ride, it will be a headwind the whole way. Well, not the whole way, but the first sort of 30 miles. I was like, okay, I'll go Friday. Still blowing a hoolie on Friday and piddling down the rain. So I was like, yeah, I won't go today then. I'll go tomorrow. Because Friday evening, the wind had stopped and the rain had gone. It was all lovely. But yeah, tomorrow would be perfect. Then Saturday, it piddled down the rain all day. So I didn't go. I know, lame excuses. But I had just cleaned and serviced the bike. So the last thing I wanted to do was ride it in the rain for a long while and have to clean it again. Uh, Other than that, we went to a place called Ickworth House. Do I drink water with ice in it? No. I mean, I don't drink water, so there's that. But I don't have ice in anything that makes it cold. And that makes my teeth hurt. No, nope, don't do cold stuff. Uh, Coldest would be, I don't know, something out of the refrigerator, and that wouldn't be a drink, that'd be a food. All my drinks are kept at room temperature because I have very British teeth. If I start drinking or eating cold things, I get massive pain. It doesn't go away very quickly. So yeah, it's just easier to avoid eating and drinking cold stuff. I think that the last thing I used ice for, if not for a burn, would probably just been ice in a bucket with some water and just put my feet in it after a long bike ride or a long walk or something like that, or just on a really hot day. Was it last year or the year before where it hit 42 degrees? Yeah, it's room temperature. Howdy, Linkbot. Yep, energy drinks, Coke, all at room temperature. Or whatever the temperature happens to be. The only time it is an issue is when I go on a long bike ride on a hot day. Because then my water and my Coke or whatever other drinks I've got with me end up being whatever the temperature is of the day. Pardon me. And when you're feeling a bit dehydrated and a bit too hot, you go to take a swig of your drink and it's actually warmer than you are. That's not good. So, especially on hot days, I do try and work my rides out so that somewhere around the halfway point, if it's a long enough one, I will stumble across a shop, a store, convenience store that sells meal deals, or at least, cold drinks, and then I'll buy a bottle of something that's cold. If that's not available, then I do carry the chemical ice packs you get, where you break the little vial in there and it just gets really cold. Break one of them, stuff it in a water bottle, and it cools the water right down. Just don't leave it in there too long, or it freezes the water. And then you're really stuffed because you can't. Yeah, it is. I wouldn't say it's a very British thing. It's a very me thing. Most people do prefer their soft drinks to be cold and their beer to be cold, and I'm just weird. I mean, I don't tend to do hot drinks either. So, and if I do, I let them get cold before I drink them. So, if for example, I made a cup of coffee right now, then I wouldn't probably be drinking it for about another hour. Some ice packs have ammonium nitrate. Yeah, I've no idea what the one-use chemical ones are made from, but they do have their uses. I always keep at least one in my first aid kit that I take with me on my longer bike rides. I mean, I take tools so if something goes wrong with the bike, I can fix it. Let's be honest, if it's something serious, then I'll probably crashed. Not all, I think ones from Walmart and CVS definitely do. Yeah, well, I mean, try not to drink what's actually in them is usually a good idea. Yeah, I just try and avoid extremes of heat and cold. I mean, I'm fine in the cold. That doesn't bother me at all, as long as I'm not breathing through my mouth and then my teeth get cold again and pain. I've got a weird flavour in my mouth. Oh, ibuprofen, that's what that is. But yeah, so yeah, I try and avoid getting too hot, too cold. Because bike might break down, so I take the stuff that I might need to fix what might break with the bike, and I also take the stuff that I might need to fix when I break myself. So it's just a basic first aid kit with painkillers, anti-inflammatories, band-aids, ice pack, bandages, that kind of thing. Been watching the YouTube channel Lost in the Pond. Lawrence. Yes, I know Lawrence. Well, I know his channel. I don't know him personally. Yeah, it is. I don't think it's appreciated quite that much just how different it is, especially America to UK. I mean, in the UK, we get a lot of American TV, movies, all that kind of stuff. So we're exposed to American culture fairly well. I know it's not necessarily 100% accurate, but so American slang names for things we get, we know them. Random American spellings of things where you replace and remove letters and stuff. Yeah, and we get quite a lot of it over here, so it's not that big of a shock. It's a bigger shock coming the other way. People find out. There's quite a few of the sort of, I wouldn't necessarily say reaction channels. Well, technically they are. They're sort of reacting to videos about the UK or Europe, and then when they do come, they're like, "Oh, it is completely different." One of the biggest shocks people have is the size of the roads. There are roads around here which one of the bigger F-150s would not be able to drive down because it just simply wouldn't fit. See, I forget the channel names because I'm already subscribed, and the thumbnail comes up and it's like, oh, so and so's done a new video. Depends on the city. Some places have the event centre spelled centre. Centre is the correct spelling of centre. Yes. Because it comes from the French, which I think originally came from the Latin. It's like we spell realise with an S, not a Z, and specialise or specialised with an S, not a Z. Looks weird and feels weird. I don't like it. I don't like it. That's how we feel with American spellings. So you look at it and you go, I know what it says. Something's not right. You think, right, yeah, that's why. That's why defence reads wrong. You replace the C with an, or replace the S with the C or the C with an S, depending on which way you put it. It's not defence, it's defence. You can defence something, in which case it is spelt with a C. But to defend something, as in to be in defence of, is spelt with an S. Don't start on place names. But then, I mean, some American place names are very weirdly spelt as well. Yeah, there is that. Both countries are equally wrong. Um, Equally wrong. I think we're getting towards the point. I don't think it'd be too much longer. I mean, yeah, in historical terms, anyway. Well, not presidential terms. Um, Before they will be recognised as separate languages. You already get settings in computer programs and whatever for English, and American English. Even one of the AI things that I use, I did have to specify English rather than, or British English rather than American English. Um, It'll be the same with Australian English. That will eventually, well, yeah, become its own language. It's, but then I am living in the area where English actually comes from. East Anglia. And the Angles, who come from East Anglia, or Anglia, whichever way you want to put it, that basically morphed over the centuries or millennia into the English. It would have been Aenglish, English, became English. So yes, probably the most accurate speakers of the proper English would be broad Norfolk farmers, and that don't sound nothing like English that you or I would know. Right? Most Americans would probably need a translator from broad Norfolk into American English. Blasco, you steady, bah. Please slow down. And there are road signs like that around here. Drive you steady, bah. With you being spelled Y-E-W, which is how it's pronounced in this part of the country. So one day I will find a decent book on the Norfolk dialect. It's actually really quite interesting if you're sad like me and you do dig into etymology of things. What's his name? Steve. Oh, what's the channel name? Oh, what's the channel? I can't remember what his name is. I know the guy's name. I know his wife's name. I know the kid's name. I can't remember what the channel's called though. Because I watch quite a lot of his stuff. Then from watching Lost in the Pond, yeah. I mean, I think the saying two countries separated by a common language is a bit out of date now. It's because it's not a common language anymore. It's not even a common culture anymore. Allies now. Just another country that celebrates independence from the British Empire. 'Hello, Dixie. How you doing, me dear?' 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 'Hello, I hope you're doing well. Juanita. As I've said many a time, I suck with names, so if you don't mind being called Dixie, I'll stick with that. Slept in that feels good. Oh yeah, lay-ins always feel good. Unless you lay in and you actually have to be up for something in the morning. Come on, lighter. You've got plenty of gas. It's the ones where you sleep in, lay in, and then you wake up and you look at the clock and you're like, oh crap, I've got to be at work in 10 minutes. Those aren't so good. Yeah, if you've not got anything you got to do. Oh, well, there we go. I shall keep calling you Dixie then. If you like it, that's good enough for me. What part of Idaho? That ain't me. In the bit where the spuds come from. Sorry, spud being English slang for potato. And derogatory slang for an Irishman would be a spud muncher. Again, another country we messed up. Right near the front church wilderness. No idea. I know of Boise, Idaho, or Boise, if you pronounce it correctly. Yeah, French. I don't know where it is either, and I lived there. I don't feel quite so bad now. About 4 hours from Boise. Yeah, I've heard it enough times on TV. But it just makes me laugh every time. It's like, no, it's actually pronounced Boise. Originally, it would have been like Mobile, Alabama. For years, I thought there were two mountain ranges called the Rondaks, because I kept hearing about the Outer Rondaks, and then they were talking about mountains. So it took me ages before I actually saw it written down. It was the Adirondacks. I was like, oh, that's why I never heard about the Inner Rondaks then. Where am I? I'm probably about 3 hours northeast of London, 2.5 to 3 hours northeast. We're right underneath the White Cloud Mountains. Beautiful but very remote. Pronouncing Kuna like it's spelled, just to pee off people from Kuna. I'm guessing I'm getting it right with Kuna. It's not Kuna or. Because I know it's a mountain bike brand. That's about all I know. And I'm guessing it was just named after the place. Maybe it originally started there as a factory. No, not pronounced Kuna. No, fair enough. Pronounced with a Q. So Kuna. So pronounced like a posh English person would say it. Oh, it's Kuna. Like Cunard ocean liners. Yeah. Or tuna. Kuna, which sounds like it's pronounced with, it sounds like it's spelt with two O's instead of a U. Probably not allowed to spell it like that though. Oh. Oh. So if I went into some of the English place names, I mean, here we go. Here's one that's near me. I'll type it in the chat. It's like, oh, that's like 7 miles down the road. And unless you've heard it pronounced, you won't pronounce it correctly. Even English people who haven't heard it pronounced pronounce it wrong. So there are 3 letters in there that you don't pronounce. Actually 4 in Norfolk. You could, in Norfolk, you could, well, actually, that's how you pronounce it. Wyndham. Yeah. Yeah. Mund, you know, props Mund, not the Mond. Wymondham, I hear quite a lot, or Wymondham, or Wymondham. It's Wyndham. There are other things like locally a GH is pronounced as an F. So we've got pronouncing it as it's spelt, Hargham Road, or Hargham as a village, pronounced Hartham, or Hartham, depending how broad Norfolk you go. Depending how tired I get as to how broad Norfolk I get these days. Oh, pardon me. That's pronounced the same in every language. Everyone knows what that is. What other good ones have we got? Oh, yeah, one that throws. Even when Robot Wars, or BattleBots, was on TV in the UK, there was a team from this place, and they got it wrong every time. Hereford is a word that's pronounced very different. Pronounced the US way, Hefford. No, I mean, Hefford would probably be how a local, I hate farmer, isn't it? A local rustic rural type would say it. Hefford. But here's another one that everyone gets wrong. And hello, Barbara. How are you, my dear? That's another good one. Hereford. Herefordshire. Oh, sorry, Dixie. Big hug. Oh, and Sam. Yes, I know I'm a hugger, but I was thinking about it the other day, actually, where one of these days I'm going to give someone an e-hug over a live stream and they're going to get upset about it. I assume that I'm trying to get into their underwear kind of thing, where I'm just giving someone a hug. But yeah, that one I put in the chat. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 letters you don't pronounce. Well, 4 letters you don't pronounce in Costessi. It's pronounced Cossi. Uh, but yeah, that's just Norfolk for you. What does my heart's in the way? Just need another comment. Oh, what does my shirt say? This is quotes from Firefly, the TV show. Adidas. Well, that is correct because it was Adi and Das. There was no Adi. Same as there's no Y on the end of Nike. If it had a Y on the end of it, it would be Nike. It doesn't, so it's Nike. Very, very good show. If you like a sort of comedic sci-fi western, that's probably the best way to describe it, I think. Worcestershire. So Wusstursh. G'day, Craig. How you doing? And I think, oh, hang on, let me have a look. Somewhere in the middle. Worcestershire sauce. And no, you don't use that like you would ketchup. Sounds good. I'm weird. I love the Big Bang Theory. Everyone loved the Big Bang Theory for a while. It's wash your sister sauce. Well, if that's what you get after you wash your sister, then there's your sister needs washing more often. Yeah, so I think I watched like the first 4 or 5 series of Big Bang, and then it kind of got a bit samey and not quite so funny anymore. But that's the same with any comedy. Bell late last night, beautiful crystals. Yeah, we'll give Bella a hug as well, just in case. And fusses for, and obviously anyone with any furry friends, fusses for doggos, kitties, bunnies, hamsters, rattaners, everything. It's, mind you, I got savaged by Ginge the other day. Took a nice chunk out of my thumb. Oh, he was about to get into a fight with a much larger cat. Oh, I'm always furry. Wow. Just be careful with the belly rubs. It tends to cause wind. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so and it's a fairly young cat, the other cat. It's very friendly and very sweet and lovely, and was just coming over to make friends. So just being nice. Ginger decided he didn't like that, so and started yowling. So I picked Ginger up, so trying to get him to stop and behave, and decided that he needed to get down real quick and just put his claws straight through my thumb. Cheers. Yeah, like he's trying to make friends, not here to take your territory or cause any squit. He just wants to be friendly. No, weren't having none of it. Thing is, Ginger isn't a good fighter. He always loses. He's not like that dude over there, up there, who used to kick everything's butt, including dogs and people. It took a honking great seagull to come out on top with Zach. Um, yeah, Ginger's just awful at fighting. Like, tries to get into the fight and just loses badly every time. Don't know why he bothers. Dude, just chill. Yeah. So he didn't mean to hurt me. He was trying to get to the other cat. That's all it was. And then I gave the other cat a good fuss. No, it won't. No, Ginger won't go near me. Oh dear. Cats are weird creatures. Oh, pardon me. Very strange. I mean, they're not quite as weird as rabbits. There is nothing on this planet, even a toddler, that can go from full-on zoomies to fast asleep as quick as a rabbit can. It's a fraction of a second. Zoom, 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 boink, 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 zoom, zoom, flop. Oh, right. And then they spend quite a bit of time just sitting there going, just waiting for a thought to come into their head. 3:30 a.m. Ice cream cake split down the middle, halves each, no kids. We get half an hour, not quite. Exactly. Exactly. So it's even better though, Craig. When you live on your own, you get the whole thing. That's why I'm overweight. Dixie's two cats can't be near each other without a fight. Yes. Where do you think by now they get used to each other fairly rapidly? It just seems that some cats just don't get on. And they just different personalities. I don't know. Both males, that'll do it. Uh, need someone to make it. I'm happy with half. Oh, 5 years counting, they still don't get on. I think that's safe to say they're not going to suddenly get on. Yeah. I mean, if you find that person that you're willing to share half your ice cream cake with, you're doing well. One of the cats loves to be petted but not picked up. The other one hates being petted but will sleep on your lap forever if you don't move. Both ex-feral. An uneasy piece. Mm-hmm. And that's the other thing with cats is that you say they're like that with you, but with someone else, the one that don't like being picked up may love being picked up and cuddled. Um, the one that doesn't like petting may like being petted by someone. Cats are weird. So most people couldn't get near Zach. Neighbours, his owners, they could like give gentle fusses and feed him, and that was about the extent of it. I could pick him up, cuddle him, give him belly rubs, trim his fur when he got mats in it, put sun cream on his ears when they started getting burnt. He'd snuggle up under the duvet with me. All that kind of stuff. Wouldn't do that with anyone else. Actually, when Mary and I were having a nap earlier, he was giving me head rubs on my leg. We run from most people. It's ex-feral, so they're scared of most people, but they trust you. I've got two when they were young, 5 years apart. So you got one that's been there a lot longer than the other. So it's cat one's territory, and cat two is horning in on it, as it were. And so if you set up a fish tank, let's say, actually getting on the subject of what we're kind of meant to be on. Sometimes we even talk about fish. If you get a fish tank and you want, let's say, a territorial type fish like a betta or a cichlid, but you want like a school of two it's the case. Yeah, fair enough. Cat two's trying to get cat one's territory. Yeah, so if you like a community tank, like so, if I'd have put the electric blue acara in first and then added the community fish, for example, I don't think the electric blue acara are physically capable of doing anything. That's another, let's say, a betta or something. Then you put the territorial fish in first, it claims it. This is my territory. And then anything you put in afterwards is likely to get attacked for being where it's not supposed to be. If you put the territorial fish in last, it accepts that all the other fish are already there, and it's got to find its little territory, and tends to be a lot more chilled. And I think that's probably why Norman got on with the shrimp okay, my first betta, and then Engelbert didn't. Because Engelbert went in and then the shrimp went in, whereas went in after the shrimp were already in there. Oh, pardon me, that was a bit of a butt explosion. Steve experiences spotted puffers. They put them in, then added other fish, and the puffers attacked them, or then remove the other fish, take the puffers out, put the other fish in, give it a few days, and then put the puffers back, and they don't attack anyone. it's fish psychology is a weird thing. It says like the Shelly tank, they get on fine, no issues whatsoever. If I add any more Shellies, there will be a fight, and the new ones will die. If I add a butterfly, a Bouchardi or something, that would get attacked. Electric blue acara are beautiful. I thought they'd destroy any community fish. So we were actually talking about this last night on Andrew's stream. I'm pretty sure there are two very, very, very similar fish: the blue acara and the electric blue acara. I may not be 100% right, and it might just be two different ways of getting to an electric blue acara, depending on what you breed together to get the colours and whatever. But I think the blue acara is more like the wild type acara and is more aggressive and cichlidy, whereas the EBA, happy caras, I think they've probably got some German blue ram in them somewhere, or something like that, because they're a lot more chilled. I mean, I've got, electric blue acara can't go with community fish. Electric blue acara, full grown adult, nearly 6 years old. Baby Limia swinging around it. Yeah. Would there be a crowd of that many babies in a tank where the big aggressive cichlid is eating them. I don't think so. Bert and Ernie wouldn't hurt a fly. Well, they would if it landed in there. They destroy spiders. But yeah, and I've not once seen either of them go for anything. The dual cichlids did. And they went for the electric blue acaras at 4 times their size. I also went for the biker that was full grown. And then one of them got mullered by the biker. And then I took them out and put them back into their old quarantine tank, and then they started fighting amongst themselves. So there was only 2 of them that went back to the shop rather than 4. Yeah, I've got no proof exactly about my blue acara, electric blue acara thinking, but it does seem to be the way. Because as you said, I hear people who've got blue acara, electric blue acara, whatever we're going to call them, and they go, yeah, you can't put them with anything smaller because they'll eat it. Then other people like me are going, yeah, these guys are totally chill and friendly. They wouldn't hurt a flea. Is it just because I got them when they were very small and the tank was already established and had lots of small fish in it already? Because I think when I got Bert and Ernie and Donkey, I had guppies in there. Did I have guppies or was it platies? Guppies or platies, one of them anyway. And they left them alone. And then there's always been other fish with them. They've not ever been the only fish in the tank. So might be an interesting one. Take everyone out, rescape and redo the tank. Put the electric blue acaras back in. How do I know they aren't? I never see them doing it. I'll see the acaris just sat there and there's a cloud of limia fry swimming all around their head. And there's not even the odd. Oh. It's just, and plus the amount of limia I get. J-Rock does stuff. How you doing, J-Rock? Good evening, sir. As well as can be expected for a broken old fart. How are you? Yeah, it's yeah. What? So I do wonder if I did that and then put the, let's say, pull everyone out, completely re-scape the tank and change everything around. Put the electric blue acara in, give it a week or so, and then put the limia back in. Would they then go for the limia? And I don't think so, because the limia would probably attack back. And yes, I know they're silly little live bearers. It's been a crazy busy summer. Ooh, that's never good. But I say, yes, they're just little live bearers with mouths like mollies or platies, but they've done for epistogrammas, an anacara. Pretty sure if I put any young angelfish in there, they'd probably kill them as well. Candy, my darling! Massive hug, massive hug. I was talking about you the other week. Miss you so much. Hope all is well with you. Oh, mwah, mwah, mwah. Love and hugs to you and the family. You have been missed. Trust me. Oh. big candy hug. Kids are back to school for the last week, trying to get them in a routine with what. Oh, yeah, kids are off for another week yet here, but then we have a later summer break than you guys do. Mary's got one more week off, and I think she goes back the week after, partway through the week probably. But yeah, it's going to be weird getting myself back into the routine. Because obviously, with Mary not having to leave for work at like 7:30 in the morning, we've been having our natter later and going for longer because we have a chat every morning and every evening. But with her going back to work, we'll have to have natter earlier, which means I'll have to do natter, then walk Pippa, neighbour's dog. Rather than go, wait for the neighbour to go to work and then walk Pippa and then do morning natter. It'd be a bit of a change up, but it gives me an extra hour in the day. Well, hour and a half, because I'll be all done by 7:30. So then I can have a really early nap. I'm definitely going to notice tomorrow and Tuesday though, because I'm working and I've got to do my water changes. Trying to get my stuff together so I can stream, keep adding things to the to-do list. Just can't seem to take the easy road. No, not beer. Energy drink. Literally, my streaming setup is my laptop with a Logitech webcam. Laptop sitting on a bar stool. I'm sitting on a folding camping chair. I just go into YouTube, click on the thing, create live stream, tap, 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 it's random title and stuff and a bit of bump. Then either set the time if I get done early enough, or just hit go live. That's me done. No scripting, no preparing anything. It's all, I'm too complex for these. I just like the easy way out. If I did all the flashy graphics and intros and bits and stuffs and everything, I would just probably spend most of the stream going, which one is it? That one, yeah. Oh, wrong one. Whereas this way I can just sit here and waffle for a couple of hours and it seems to go okay. I don't get huge numbers, but if there were too many people in the chat, I probably wouldn't be able to keep up because someone would say something. I'd start waffling, go off on a random tangent somewhere and miss about the next 20 comments and come back, what? What are we on to now? Ooh, pardon me, I'm a bit moist. Some have a way too long intro. Short and sweet is good. Yeah, I think the general study was that anything over 15 seconds and people will tend to turn off. Some of the reaction channels that I've got really long intros, and you're just like, fast forward, fast forward, fast forward, fast forward. Oh, right now they're still running on about the ways you can give them money. Fast forward, fast forward. Oh, right, there's the actual reaction. What's that one? It's the two rappers. Trash talkers. I mean, admittedly, their banter between them is actually quite interesting and funny. So I do watch quite a bit of it. But it can be like a 13-minute video, 14, 15-minute video, and the first 7 or 8 minutes is just them chattering before they actually watch or react to the song. But yeah, this is the great thing with YouTube and other forms of content creation. Let's go with that one. You can make the content you want to make, and people can watch the content they want to watch. I mean, let's be honest, if there was an aquarium show on TV way back in the day before all the Tinternet and stuff happened, if there was an aquarium show and that was the only aquarium entertainment, as it were, you'd have to watch it, even if you didn't really like it, or you would just not watch it. Whereas with sort of YouTube live streams, blah blah blah, I won't say every person, but we've all got our own ways of being and doing, different personalities. Some people do really, really complex videos with thousands of edits and all looks amazing and it's like scripted, and yeah, it could be on TV. Then you get some nerd like me who just at most has a random piece of paper with a few scribbled notes on it, just points the camera at stuff and talks all in one shot. Howdy, Mark. And Honoldo, how are you doing, Mr. Blue Eyes? Good fun last night. I used to run a show many moons ago. Songs are rusty. Very particular on how I do things. Do stuff a little different than most of the not kept. Was there a time there was only one BBC? There must have been. I don't remember it. I remember when there was BBC One, BBC Two, and ITV. They were the only three channels. Then Channel 4 came along. Literally, they called it Channel 4. And that was like, wow, there's another option. Yeah, I'm good. And then Channel 5 came along. They're really inventive of what they name their channels. And that was like the edgier one. So BBC very staid and proper. BBC Two a little bit more light-hearted. ITV similar, trying to be sort of halfway between BBC One and BBC Two, but with adverts. Channel 4 was kind of the edgy one. Then Channel 5 came along, was trying to be more edgier. So I remember like, either the first day or the first week they put Natural Born Killers on, but they had to edit it to get it out even after the 9 o'clock watershed. So they played Natural Born Killers and it was about an hour long. When we had NL1, LL2 and RTL. Yeah, that's stunning. I remember going to black and white and going to colour. I'm like, wow. Yeah, when the only TV we had in the house was a 14-inch black and white portable. Don't want to teach, go more for entertainment value. I mean, I just waffle about what I want to waffle about, really. I don't. If people can learn something from my videos, then awesome. That's amazing. If people just stick them on, sit there, and it's just something in the background, or heck, even if they're just falling asleep to them, that's fine by me. Which one was Monty Python? That was BBC Two. I remember the reruns. I don't remember when it was first out. A couple of German ones, black and white. I remember that, man, I'm old. Yeah, if we can remember black and white TV, we're old. I was trying to explain a CRT TV to a young'un the other day. That was quite difficult. So, what do you mean the screen was really thick? I'm like, yeah, it was really deep. Well, how deep? I said, well, they weren't far off square shaped, cubic. You had a 4x3 screen at most. No, it wasn't even that. It was square, weren't it? 1x1 screen, and then almost as deep as they were square. So, and they weighed an absolute ton. You get people these days are going to mount an LED or an LCD screen to the wall. Oh no, we need really strong bolts to hold it. It's heavy. No, it's not. No, you could, if you got a decent wall, you could probably get away with 4x40s. You don't need coach bolts to hold a TV up. The TV mount probably weighs more than the TV does. So I remember way back when you get a TV stand and they would be rated for the size of TV because of the weight of the TV, not because it won't physically fit on the stand because it's too wide, it's too heavy. Go away. I don't need to link things, especially not on a computer. It's not long for this world. I wonder what I think of a console TV. Oh, geez. Or the ones that were in a cabinet and you proper wooden, like furniture cabinet. You open the doors and fold them back so you could actually watch. With like a drawer in the bottom that had the VCR in it. Yeah, it's like the drawer that you get at the bottom of an oven, an old oven. That drawer isn't there to store your pots and pans in. That drawer is originally there to keep food warm. Mandy, hello, my darling. Magical hugs from Mr. Floof. He was snuggling with me and Mary earlier when we were sleeping. Remember when big screens came out and they had wheels? Yeah. If you wanted to move a TV, it took two of you. I think the biggest CRT I had was a 32-inch. And that had lifting instructions on the back of it, and it had molded in handholds to actually pick it up by. And I could just about move it by myself. It was ridiculously heavy. And now you get a 32-inch TV, you just like, stick under my arm. Right where we want it? All right. Yeah. New TV delivery day in a electrical shop would have been a nightmare. First TV had aluminium foil antennas. Yeah, well, that was done. I mean, if you get a decent signal, you didn't have to bother with it. But yeah, especially if you were like going on holiday and you took the portable TV with you, on vacation, sorry, you took the portable TV in the caravan, RV, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, you'd have to put the aluminium foil and make like weird extensions for the aerials so you could catch a signal in whatever caravan park you were in, whichever field in the butt end of Nowheresville. And if the wind got up, then you'd lose signal. Mum used to get mad if I watched TV before school, so I'd get up like 5 a.m, put headphones on, and turn the brightness way down. Yeah, well, I mean, when I was that age, there weren't nothing to watch before school. Yeah. All that was on TV when I was that age before school would have been the news or current affairs programs, which as a school kid you're really not interested in. Giant antenna on the roof with a motor to. I've got a decent size antenna in the loft, the attic, but it's yeah, Nickelodeon. Yes, I remember Nickelodeon. Um, I mean, yeah, it was during the school holidays. There was like children's TV on one channel in the mornings, but that was it. Yeah, so yeah, we went from. I guess in my lifetime, it's gone from black and white CRT to color CRT to widescreen CRT to plasma LCD OLED, and then it's gone from rabbit ear aerials to aerial in the big aerial in the loft that picked up all the signals to a digital aerial in the loft with a Freeview box to pick up all the different Freeview channels, which was like probably like cable but free, um, and as good as you'd expect. And then streaming happened. No, it didn't get lighter. Rowing machines. Got one delivered today, and the girl was 5 foot, £114, so can work with a pocket on the rocks. Hubby, her poor girl was struggling with the dolly. Oh, bless. Well done, Mr. Zen, for being a gentleman there. I assure you mean rowing machine, not rowing machine, as it's something you can argue with. Before the motor, someone would get up there and someone else would shout at the window if it was better or not. You know, it was the kid's job. You send the kid up the ladder on the roof to adjust the aerial. Or dad stands there going, better, worse, better, worse. Couldn't just watch it happen. We had to get out there. Evening, Humbercoy. How you doing? Good to see you. Meant whatever Samsung said when I swiped it. Yeah, what happened in the days when exercise machines were kind of light? Well, I mean, oh yeah, obviously other than weight benches. Yeah, so it's one of those things I have kind of. So you got yourself a clothes hanger. Give it a week or two, and yes, it'll be an expensive clothes hanger. But what I don't get right is why they all have to be plugged into the wall. You've got an exercise bike, a rowing machine, a treadmill. You're moving and rotating something. Now, if you fitted, I don't know, a generator in there, it would generate its own power. And you could it'd probably be generating enough power that if you did plug it in, you'd actually put power into the system. So, you might be able to run a light bulb or something, or the TV, just by exercising, you actually gain something from it as well. You save money. As I say, the thing I really don't get is why people would go to a gym, sit on an exercise bike for an hour or whatever, and basically just stare at a wall. Just, just get a bike, go for a bike ride. It'll do you much better. You won't be surrounded by other people's germs and sweat either, and won't get accused of being a creepy old perv every time you move your head from looking straight ahead or straight down. just so we do talk about fish sometimes. It just depends where the chat meanders off to. If we want to talk about fish, we talk about fish and fish keeping and weird Sharpie theories about fish keeping. We live in the devil's taint. I was actually go outside and walk or ride a bike. Keep gaining weight during the summer because I hate heat. Yeah, I get it in your case, but in the UK, you can't ride a bike. It's cold. You just got to wear some gloves and maybe a woolly hat under your helmet. You don't have to worry about the rest of you getting cold. It is raining. Well, there's these things called waterproofs and mud guards or fenders. Keep you dry. Some ways it's crazy dangerous to bicycle on the road. I mean, obviously, I can't talk for the US. I mean, I wouldn't want to be cycling in a big city or even a big town, possibly, but I'm perfectly safe, and I ride on national speed limit roads. Yeah, I'm not worried. I mean, that might just be that I'm used to it. So a truck or car passing me, you know, I mean, if someone gets real close, like they're passing me at 60 mile an hour and about 6 inches away from me, then I might go, oh, a bit close. Other than that, I don't even notice. Cold will wear off if you get going. You're not going to melt or get gangrene from rain on a bike ride. Man, exactly. But what about my bike? Will my bike be damaged if I ride it in the rain? If your bike is going to get damaged from riding it in the rain, you should be taking it back to whoever sold it to you because it's not up for the job it's been sold for. They've misrepresented it. It's not a bicycle. It's an objet d'art, or a bike-shaped objet, as I call them. It's, if so, yes, I know I could have gone on my ride yesterday, but I just didn't fancy doing 40 odd mile in the rain. Better enough, I think. But if I was on a mass fitness kick, then yeah, I would have done it. Not a problem. And as we know, I've cycled far further than that and in far worse weather. Yeah, I don't know. I think these people just like to be indoors wearing lycra, sweating, surrounded by other sweaty lycra wearing people, rather than outdoors alone, away from other people's germs and sweat and rashes. I haven't even got a clue how many watts I produce when I cycle. For all I know, it could be 10 or it could be 300. Yeah, I don't know. I just get from A to B at a sensible rate in a sensible time and enjoy it. I'm not quick, but then I'm not riding a quick bike. Hubby's going on a mountain bike ride with daughter and fiance later in the day. Mountains are for hiking. One very steep and narrow trail. Yeah. I mean, I've not done mountain biking because no mountains around here. Fairly flat. But I have ridden on some pretty rough trails on my bike, and it's not an off-road bike. Yeah, it gets a bit interesting. But the way mountain bikes are these days, yeah, you don't need to be good. Just pay attention. Joe's got to go. Have a good one, buddy. Don't work too hard. Like makes me itchy, and I despise people. Well, Yeah, obviously weather-wise, you're where you are, but yeah, it's very rare I see anyone and to actually talk to on a bike ride. Um, and generally, if I do, it's a pleasant experience. It's usually someone else on a bike who's out having a ride, doing the same thing, usually overtaking me because they're probably half my age and riding a multi-thousand-pound bike. But they don't come past me that fast. So yeah, I mean, or if I've been like pulled up at the side of the road checking a map or checking where I am because I've just gone for a ride and not like set a route into an app or anything. I've just gone, yeah, I'm going to head this direction today. When I've done this many miles, I'll sort of turn and find another route. So sometimes I do check a map or my phone just to see where I am. Go, oh right, yeah, I want to be going that direction. But yeah, I've had people on other bikes. You're right, mate. Yeah, yeah, just checking directions. Oh, cool. Have a good ride. It's pretty flat. I mean, yes, Norfolk is kind of renowned as being flat. A lot of the county is actually below sea level. That's not to say there aren't hills. There are. And the thing with it is, yes, people go, you got no hills. There aren't no hills. There are. And the thing is, if you live somewhere flat, you're not used to going up hills. So they, even though they might not be that steep or that long, they do tend to be noticeable. Um, I think the highest point in Norfolk is something like 113 meters above sea level. I think the lowest point is something like 25 meters below sea level. Um, there are lots of drains and pumping stations, especially as you get further north. Uh, Trying to get my kids to exercise more. Homeschooling is almost completely cut out any PE other than what you make them do. So you can't be lazy, or they will be. Yeah. Well, you don't have to be all super fit and muscular and zero body fat, blah 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 rubbish. Just at least semi-fit is a good thing to be. I'm fitter than I was 2 years ago when I took up biking. I do it for the fun, the enjoyment, and sorting my brain out. The fact that I'm also getting fitter, I'm noticing. Really am noticing. The difference in my legs is quite astonishing. Let's just put it that way. The rest of me, it doesn't show so much, but yeah, active and healthy. Yeah, exactly. I mean, these days my legs are just muscle. There is no fat at all on my legs. It's just further up because don't necessarily do too much sort of stomach or neck exercising when you're riding a bike. Arms and shoulders do a bit, but that's about it. And back. Really need to get back to hiking. Yeah, so hiking is good. I would enjoy it, but my knees wouldn't. And so yeah, biking it is. It's just the most sensible for me to do because it's the lowest impact on the joints. It's efficient, so I can go further for less energy. Don't get blisters, and I mean, on a sensible length ride, and what I call a sensible length ride, I know some people would call a short, and some people call bloody hell, Sharpe, that's a long way. Let's say 20 to 30 miles. I don't get any pain, but might go a bit numb, but that's it. I will get numbness in my hands. That's due to previous injuries and issues with carpal tunnel, and I'm working on a solution for that, which is going to mean changing the stem and the handlebars. But if it can reduce the amount of numbness I get in my hands, it'll be worth it. Yeah, rowing is a really good way to get core and upper body strength and leg strength and back strength, and improve cardiovascular blah blah blah. And yeah, it's not gonna, like running. Everyone knows running messes your knees up and your hips up and your ankles up. But people still do it. Like, why? You're just breaking yourself. I know this from playing football a lot as a younger person. That's why my knees are shot. When I did pop my knee many moons ago now, and I did get a scan on my knee, they then scanned the other knee that wasn't injured just to check just how badly both of them were worn, and they're both worn quite badly. Yeah. Certain lacks of things that should be there that weren't because they've worn away. There's a reason that ellipticals were invented. Yeah. It doesn't. It's the shock loading through the joints. That, you know, I mean, if you're going to run on like grass or a relatively soft, forgiving surface, then fine. Don't run on tarmac or concrete. Or don't run on tarmac or concrete and then come moaning that your knees hurt. But yeah. Delhi, darling, how the devil art thou? Huggle. Have a snag sandwich for me, or a mystery bag sandwich. Messed my feet up for several years jogging out of the mailbox. We have a long driveway, it's not super long. Gave myself plantar fasciitis. Yeah, it's a tendon thing, and tendon stuff takes a long while to heal. Tendons and ligaments. Yeah, if you damage a tendon or a ligament, it's not like a muscle pull where a few days, maybe a couple of weeks. Muscle tears they can take a long time, but if you pretty sure my bursitis is now making the change to plantar fasciitis. Also an issue where both of us, we spend hours and hours standing around on concrete being retail workers, and that really isn't good for your feet. Good arch support. But let's be honest, who wants to wear orthopedic shoes because they're really uncomfortable? Took gymnastics as a kid. Gym was surrounding trampolines. Moved run laps on that. Never understood why, because it was very awkward. Yeah, you've got give under your feet. It's like running on the beach. It gives, It gives, and it also provides more resistance, so you don't have to run so far to get the same effect. You can catch my drift. Same with the trampolines. You don't have to run as far to get the same effect as if you were running on a running track. I'm now running on the edge of my foot and then under my heel and foot. Yeah, that sounds like it might be. I know I've done both of mine because I broke both my feet at the same time by landing directly on the plantar tendon. Yeah, the plantar tendon is the tendon that is basically the spring in your foot that allows us to walk. Without that, we basically can't walk. Not in a normal manner anyway. My only real issue these days with my feet is ball of my, usually my left foot. I'll get a bit of, I'm guessing it's probably going to be arthritis in there. It starts getting painful sometimes, but again, that's fine on a bike. That only hurts when I walk. So even if that's playing up, I can go for a bike ride and no pain. Yeah, if you have got planar issues, orthopedic inserts, or even just something that will support the arches a bit better. So I know a pair of Skechers is super comfy, but because they're super comfy, it means they've got very soft soles, which means they give very little support anywhere. My issue is I wear steel toe cap safety shoes for work, and they've got no give. You're not allowed to wear Skechers. Fair enough. And me being me, I wear shoes that are way too big for me, just because of the width. Which means if there is arch support, it's never in the right place. Do not disparage a good name of Skechers. Oh, I love Skechers. Swears an Australian. That's like swearing in English, just a bit more. Don't get me wrong, I love Skechers. I've got 3 pairs of them in various stages of falling apart. One pair's got to go in the bin at some point because the insoles have disintegrated. They've basically got holes where my heel and the ball of my foot go. So they're really uncomfortable. But they're still good for walking the dog in the rain because it don't matter if they get wet. That said, my new pair, actually I've got 4 pairs of Skechers. But my new pair are hiking ones, so they're waterproof, and they've actually got a fairly solid sole on them. Again, I got them for biking in because you want a good solid sole on a bike. It supports your foot a bit better and you don't feel the pedal. You know your foot's on the pedal, but you don't feel like the spikes digging in or the bars across or anything like that. Because my pedals are quite vicious. Yeah, let's say Skechers are comfy, super comfy, generally super light as well. I wonder how much water goes in my big aquarium. I've got 7 buckets out. Let the garden 7 buckets. Well, I mean, it all depends on the size of your bucket. But if it's a standard UK bucket, that's 21 gallons. 715, 105 litres. At least I was told you're an idiot and you pick a different shoe because she broke her foot rolling her ankle in them as they didn't function properly. But I can't quit them. Flip flops were popular when I was a kid. Still called thongs in Australia. So If an Australian starts talking about thongs, I know what they mean. Yeah, no support. Yeah, I had the old broken foot falling up a flight of stairs. Yeah, I'm not broken foot falling up stairs. I had broken my head and some fingers, not a foot, and a pair of heels. There's your problem. I've generally broken my feet either by jumping off of something and landing awkwardly or rolling something heavy over them um, while wearing inappropriate footwear. Uh, Broke both wrists at 14. Oh, that must have been hell. Oh man, you couldn't even use the other hand. Damn. Howdy, Tommy. Tommy. That was good hearing your cock last night. Cockerel, that is. You have to show us your cockerel someday. What we got here? Oh, let's have a look. What are these? Yeah, that's similar to what I wear at work. These are what I use for the garden, and they are just virtually no give in them whatsoever, and weigh hard. Yeah, weigh about half a ton as well. Um, on a big Bob Steenfox feet, got no feeling because of rolling getting a forklift on it. Yeah, that'll do it. I've driven forklifts. They are very heavy. They might not look it because they're quite dinky and small, but they are bloody heavy. Yeah, thankfully I avoided that because I was usually the one sitting on the forklift. Biggest injury I did to myself with a forklift was breaking my knuckle. I was narrowing the forks up because they were too wide to go into the pallet I was trying to move. So you flip the latch, move the fork across. Except the fork was stuck, so I was giving it some welly and smacked that knuckle right into the load guard and cracked the knuckle across there. 8 weeks summer holiday, final day, decided to jump ramps on a suspension bike with impressed girls, 10 weeks off and a week in hospital. Yeah, I know that feeling. Well, except I didn't do that. I didn't actually break anything, I don't think, on a bike as a kid. I did some pretty stupid stuff. I mean, I went from a BMX to a rally chopper. And I was doing the same stuff on the rally chopper as I was doing on the BMX. And if you're not familiar with a rally chopper, it's not an ideal bike to be doing jumps on. It had a big knobbly back wheel, a little dinky front wheel, there's a big banana seat on it, really tall handlebars. It wasn't designed to be jumped. A rupture burst from the right kneecap. Now it's like grinding bone. Yeah. Had to file all the OSHA paperwork for accidents at work. When a guy rolled one into a ditch, fell on him and he died. Yeah, he mouse-trapped. There is a name for that. If you roll a forklift over, it's called mouse-trapping yourself. Yeah, more dangerous and heavy than you thought. Yes. I mean, the little one I used to drive at work was basically as small as forklifts come and actually able to do the job. that weighed 3.5 tons, had a 2-litre engine out of a VW Golf in it, and yeah, every single bit of it is solid. It's like a tank or a warship. If you've ever had the joy of getting inside a tank or wandering around a museum ship, you'll know you don't want to knock into anything because everything is solid. I bumped my arm getting in through the commander's hatch on the on a Centurion, it was a Challenger. Or was it no, it was a Centaur. Yeah, it was a Centurion. And I literally just bumped my arm as I was getting in because you sort of, yeah, they're not made to be easy to get into. They're made to be safe. I literally just knocked my arm on it. I don't bruise easily, and yeah, next day my arm was black. Only 22. So playing around, not following the safety protocol. Yeah. No, he knew. He knew what the safety protocols were. He knew he shouldn't have been doing that. But 22. That's your answer. Nah, I'll be right. I know better. I'm good. I can control this. No, you can't. Oh yeah, he probably didn't think. Yeah, tractors. Yeah, but again, they're similar. They're agricultural, and you don't need a huge amount of training to drive a tractor, especially not on road. Because if you're on private land, you don't need any training. And yeah, plenty of people die from tractor every year, especially around here because farmland. And it's sad, but it does happen. I mean, the most dangerous animal in the UK is a cow, for crying out loud. Yeah, exactly. 22 were invincible. Yeah, we all think that, especially boys or men. Debatable. I wouldn't class myself as a man at 22. Yeah, you think you're invincible. You don't think, oh, no, that won't happen to me. No, I'll be all right. And then it does happen. And you kind of hope it happens with something that just hurts a bit, injures you a bit. But with a forklift, there's no such thing as a slight forklift accident because of the sheer weight of them. Tell me about it. My son is 28 this year and he's barely got forethought of this. Yeah, exactly. Consequences. When the younger you are, the less you think about the consequences. And also, the younger you are, the quicker you heal. Howdy, Pure and Shrimple. How you doing? Good to see you. It's as you get older and things start taking longer to heal, you start taking more care of things. That's like the Marie, hello. The older you get, you start going with the hangovers, right? When you're young, you get absolutely wrecked. Friday night, Saturday night, whatever. And by mid-afternoon the next day, you're feeling fine again. You start getting a 30 or 40, and the hangovers start lasting 2 or 3 days. And that's your body just taking longer to recover from things. Barbara, at my age, I don't even like to stand on a chair. Yeah, I don't either. Greg. Oh, there. Looks like I need a cigarette or something. Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, some of the most gruesome things you'll ever see are forklift safety training videos. They don't pull the punch. They don't hide away from the fact, oh, this could hurt you. It's like, Here's a video of someone getting absolutely destroyed by a forklift. This is why you don't walk behind a forklift. This is why you don't act like a douche in a fork. This is why you don't steer on a slope. You know, when you see someone get mousetrapped or you know, get their legs smashed or worse, it kind of puts you off doing these things, even when you're relatively young. And I still laughed at the videos, but yeah, like the original safety videos we got showed in primary school. Yeah, the PSA videos, the old public safety ones, like the don't play in a gravel pit or don't play in an old abandoned fridge. Um, don't go get your frisbee if it gets caught in a power line. All those kind of videos where that actually showed what happened. They wouldn't be allowed to show them these days. Don't fly a kite in here. Yep. Don't fly on a train track. Yeah, all those ones. Tambaton, the Mad Mower is here. Yeah, we got all those videos as kids. Yeah, the problem we had with the videos on convincing us to wear seat belts is the person that they had doing them. And if you're not familiar with Jimmy Savile, cut the thumb down to the bone about 3 hours ago. Effing hurts. Yeah, will do. Been there, done that. Stitches or super glue? I I used to get stitches. These days, I just glue myself back together because it has the same effect. Yeah. Um, there are reaction videos on YouTube of people reacting to UK sort of safety adverts and charity adverts, and even the more modern ones are still pretty shocking. But yeah, the old ones, yeah, they really didn't pull any punches. Working on a 1950s model tractor. Ooh, very cool. Or, as in a model tractor or a 1950s model of tractor. So full size or model size. Oh, you go into the doctor, is run some dirt in it. Yeah, what you got to do is you get the filter out of a Pleco tank, you rub that in it, and then you super glue it shut. Disclaimer: this is not medical information. Do not do that. Um, and capped with sand. Oh, there we go. Ring my bell. Right, I'm gonna have to go and grab something to drink, and while I'm out there, I'm gonna, what I normally do: chat amongst yourselves, and if you've got any questions, stick them in the chat, and I'll get to them when I come back. Ooh, ow. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Whew. Right. That's. Oh, pardon me. 3 inches. Cool, dear. Were you watching me? Did anyone see the picture of Alex's leg cut open? Horrible, but somehow fascinating. I didn't see it, no. Kind of disappointed because that's the kind of thing I would expect him to share with me. Sort of a, I know who will get a kick out of this kind of thing. No, I didn't, but I've seen plenty of pictures of people cut open and myself. So, see you later, Arnold. Have a good one. Don't work too hard. Stay away from icebergs. 6 to 8 inches down to the bone. I think it's still on this channel. Yeah. Guarantee you that one's not monetized. Yeah, I mean, I've got some pretty gnarly scars, but yeah, Alex has got me beat in some of those regards. And at least I only got nearly hit by lightning twice. He actually got hit by lightning. And all these years later is still paying for it and being rebuilt slowly but surely. It's like Steve Rogers. It's going to be the Bionic Man soon. I would say $6 million, but what would that get you these days? CAT scan, a couple of MRIs, and maybe an overnight stay. Oh yeah. Have you got these yet in the States? The lids that don't come off. It's so that when you throw the bottle away, you don't end up, the caps go in the bin at the same time. You don't end up with the caps just laying around on the street. Not that I ever seen loads of bottle caps lying around in the street, at least not plastic ones, because But yeah, it works well. It's just annoying because if you're like me, you drink straight from the bottle, they keep catching your nose or your lip, or they don't go back on straight, or it's just a bit annoying. But if I really wanted to, I just cut it because I've got a pair of scissors and a scalpel where I normally sit. So yeah, it's an EU thing to help save the planet. Apparently, I mean, I'm not knocking it, complaining about it. It's just how it is. But yeah, that was the big thing, getting those attached, because they were everywhere. I mean, I was always taught that when you did pop the ring pull, you put it back in the can. Um, so then it didn't end up being thrown on the floor. That was the easy solution to that, but yeah, those in the glass bottles. But so I remember when if you bought, was it Corona? I think it was Corona fizzy orange juice Or it might have just been orange juice. Yeah, if you took the bottle back to the shop, you actually got some money. They paid you to recycle the bottle. I think they should do that now, to be honest. Obviously, you'd had to like show your receipt that you did buy it at that shop. Yeah, things like little things like that. So they reuse the glass bottles time and again until they got too damaged. But these days, apparently, it's cheaper to make a new bottle than it is to reuse an old one and clean it, which really makes no sense to me at all. Surely it takes a lot less energy to wash a bottle, and it's not like the lorries have got to take extra trips because they're going back and forth anyway. When the lorry goes to the store and delivers, it's got the space that the delivery came out to put stuff back on again. Yeah, unfortunately, industrial recycling is far more expensive than starting from scratch. Yeah, it shouldn't be though. On the glass bottle, what have you got to do? Sterilize it. Well, that's boiling water and maybe a bit of bleach in it. And labels used to just be pasted on pieces of paper that were easy to peel off. Obviously, you get it hot and wet, and it basically disintegrates anyway. And put the screw-on cap on, and everyone was happy. Yeah. Nowadays, apparently, it is cheaper to make a new glass bottle than it is to recycle it. I mean, I'd love to be able to like reuse Coke bottles, so I didn't have to keep buying them and throwing them away and cans and stuff. But yeah, well, if everyone just used clear plastic, that'd make life easier. You'd have to have someone removing the lids and the labels, and that would be it. Good for jobs, but not good for costs at all, because profit is king. Government funding or governments making it mandatory. You have to recycle a certain amount of what you produce. Yeah. All the one-use plastic. I mean, I don't want to be jumping on a soapbox because I'm not Captain Environment. A government mandate to go, if you're producing plastics, you have to make, off the top of my head, 50% of it has to be multi-use. Can't just be used once. And let's be honest, a lot of the stuff we do separate out and recycle still ends up in landfill anyway. Just not necessarily in the same country. Yeah, I stopped coloured toilet paper years ago. Yeah, because people don't identify a bottle by the colour of the bottle and by the colour of the cap. They identify it by the label. Yeah. Well, then, yeah. Well, we have to keep the costs down. Well, you can do that. Just drop the profit margins. in the UK, there has been a drive recently for the malformed fruit and veg. So the camera or carrots and things that and tomatoes or whatever aren't the perfect shape don't just get thrown away or used for animal feed. You can get them in supermarkets because they taste exactly the same. They just don't look as pretty. But yeah, you can buy those and they're cheaper than the other ones that look pretty. So yeah, why throw them away? I mean, there's also a thing now they're looking at getting rid of some of the best before dates or the use by dates because people still don't understand that best before does not mean the day after that it becomes toxic. And but it says best before the 12th on it and it's the 13th. Yeah, it's still perfectly edible. Right? Basically, they want us to get back to the fact that you buy food, you eat the food. If you notice it's starting to go a bit off, then you don't eat it. Then you throw it away. But you don't throw it away because something has said, oh, this is out of date, you need to throw it away, when it's still perfectly good. Yeah, same with oil and gas. There's too much of it, which will lower the cost dramatically. They order the drivers to go and dump it. CYA date, yeah. They even have subscription service boxes here of malformed produce. You can get all of them delivered cheaper than the whole. Cheaper than the whole. Cheaper to your house than going and buying the good ones from the store. Yeah, they taste exactly the same. And let's be honest, especially veg, you chop it up anyway. You don't eat whole veg generally. Or maybe mange too and petit pois. Maybe baby carrots. But the rest of it, you chop it up into little bits. So it doesn't really matter what it looks like. So I think that's one of the general drives is reduce food waste and reduce waste overall. There's no reason for it. It's just dumb. So my bread probably went out of date about a week ago, but the only reason I'll throw it away is if it goes too furry. A little bit of green on there, I ain't going to bother. I'm just going to chop that bit off. But if the whole thing's starting to go white or black, then yeah, maybe not. But people will throw bread out because it's past its best before date or sell by date. So, no, it's still fine. No, it's gone off. No, it hasn't. It's not miraculously gone to midnight 01 and your food has gone off. Jeez. Yeah, there are channels on YouTube where they eat like the old ration packs from World War II. And yes, some of it has gone bad, but a lot of it's still perfectly edible. Oh, Barb's gone for a slurp. Yeah. We need to get back to a better time where we didn't throw things away because it doesn't look too nice. Oh yeah, I've seen the videos about American bread. Yeah, I think technically things like Wonder Bread contain enough sugar that they qualify as a cake in the UK and Europe. Cheese, chop it off. I mean, if it's green, it's just going to be penicillin, so it's not going to hurt you. Green or greeny blue. Bread mold's pretty icky. Howdy, Ricky. Yeah, I generally get a wholemeal bread anyway, so a brown bread. So it's not bleached. Cheese is mold, pretty much. And if you stick it under a microscope, it'll be full of cheese mites as well. So They're perfectly safe. You can eat them. Yeah, don't chuck stuff away. Process 90% of our food right here at home. Yeah, and if you can it yourself, not a problem. It will last for a lot longer. I can't be the only one that remembers when we only eat like what was in season at the time. So you didn't get strawberries at Christmas because strawberries weren't in season at Christmas. You didn't get asparagus in August because it was past the asparagus season, that kind of thing. Same way as you wouldn't eat sprouts in August. It's curdled milk, exactly. And I had a lovely piece of Black Sticks Blue cheese earlier this week. Nom, 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 nom. Delicious. And then I had a nap and I had some interesting dreams. It's always good to eat blue cheese before you go to bed. Ruined milk. It's not as bad as yogurt though. Yogurt's like we couldn't be bothered to keep it long enough to make it into cheese. We just let it go a bit off, and then we. Yeah, gorgonzola. I do love gorgonzola. Or Stilton. Blue cheeses are just awesome. Yeah, so you wouldn't like the soft blue cheeses that I like, the gorgonzolas, the dolciolatas, the Santa Gur, the Black Sticks Blue. Yeah, most of them. Oh, Cambozola, that's a good one. That's a blue camembert. Oh, that's good. I can eat that, but I can't eat camembert and brie. They give me the runs. Weird. It's like the mold is good for you, almost. So that's the thing with brie is you have to get it at the right point. Brie should not be able to support itself. So if you buy a slice of brie and it just sits there all nice and triangular, it's not ripe. When it starts collapsing under its own weight, then it's ready to eat. Like bodied cheddars and creamy cheeses like Munster Swiss, Waxaca, good stuff. Yeah, you can't beat an extra mature farmhouse cheddar though. Oh yeah, all hard and crumbly and full of salt crystals. On which point I'm going to have to go and get something to eat because I've not eaten yet today, and it is now 8 p.m. Oaxaca. See, I don't do Aztec, Mexican, whichever it is. Steak with mushrooms, sauteed homegrown. Oh, now you're making me really hungry. So on that, I'm going to go have my microwave pizza. Kawaku. Something like that. So thank you everyone for being here. Hope you all had at least a slightly entertaining time. Stay safe. Have a good week. Enjoy your hobbies. Peace out. Rock on. Bye bye. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Monday suck do 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 do. Monday suck do 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 do. Monday suck do 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 do. Arr.